Good morning, dear students. We have started chapter 1 in the last one day back. I hope that you have seen the class and we will continue the chapter. So in the previous class, I have explained about Earth as a unique planet and different spheres of the Earth, that is hydrosphere, lithosphere, atmosphere, and different arguments given by the scientists to prove that the shape of the Earth is round. That is what I have given in the last chapter. Hope that you have gone through the book, reading the questions and finding the answers and writing in the copy. And in that I have given some diagrams also. I hope that you have done that also in the copy. Don't give this work because there are so many diagrams, first and second chapter. So please, up to date, you can complete the work. If not done, please start doing. So with the same chapter, first chapter, we will continue. We will start with this Earth as a home of humankind. So in this, we know that in the previous chapter we studied about Earth is a unique planet, Earth is a blue planet, and so many things we studied in the first chapter, in the first part. And it is we have studied that Earth is also known as a blue planet. It is because of the presence of water bodies on its surface. Like Earth is having 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water bodies and remaining 29% of land area. So we know that its abundance of water bodies are found on the surface of the Earth, which is not found in any other planets. So this makes life also possible, or it's a life sustaining substance. Water is because of this there is life on the Earth, because of the presence of biosphere on the Earth. And let us see the distribution of land and water. Distribution of land and water. I already told you that this water is more on the Earth's surface. 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water bodies, and remaining less percentage, 29% of land area. And let us see this how it is arranged. By observing the globe and map, we have seen that it is shown in light blue color if you are observing the globe and map. And also the aerial photographs that is taken from the space also shows the in that Earth appears like a blue pole. So with that that is why Earth is rightly called a blue planet. So let us see that how it is arranged. Distribution of land and water. Firstly, we can say there is a antipodal arrangement of land and water. Because there is some in your book a diagram has been given, figure 111. In that you can see antipodal arrangement of land and water. That means if you are observing the globe and map, you can clearly see that because if one direction land is found, opposite to that water bodies are found. This is antipodal arrangement of land and water on the Earth's surface. If you are observing the globe and map, it will be clear to you. Then that is antipodal arrangement. Next, in the northern hemisphere, we see that in the second chapter, I told you northern hemisphere, equator is dividing Earth into northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. Prime meridian is dividing into eastern hemisphere and western hemisphere. And here in the northern hemisphere, we see more land areas, and in the southern hemisphere, water bodies are more. Northern hemisphere, land areas are more, and in the southern hemisphere, water bodies are more. And also, this land areas that you see, and all these continents you see, it is broad in the northern hemisphere or northern parts, and in the southern side, all these continents are narrowest in the, like for example, like North America, South America, Africa. This all you see that this when it is coming to the southern parts, southern tips, you see it is the narrowest compared to the northern parts of the northern land areas. So it's a peculiarity of land areas of the Earth. Then this next let us see the Earth. Next one, Earth, the only planet to have life. Earth, the only planet with the biosphere or life. So previous chapter I told you about biosphere. The Earth, only planet with the biosphere. I told you in the previous chapter what is biosphere. It is a combination of air, water and land. Air, water, land is coming into contact and where life is possible. This zone is known as biosphere. Or we can say lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. These three are coming in contact and where life is possible, which is known as biosphere. And let us see why Earth is home of the Earth is the only planet to have this biosphere. Here we say that it is atmosphere is found and ecosystem. What is environment? All this we will see here. Biosphere, I already told you about biosphere. Earth is the only planet to support life and only planet to have this biosphere. Biosphere is the combination of air, water, land. When these three substances are coming in contact, where life is possible, this zone is known as biosphere. It is found so far only on Earth, and only on Earth life is found. And so on this Earth, we see that all this air, water and this living beings, man, animals, all this, there is a invisible link between all these things. And this invisible link in life sustaining system, we call it as environment. And it is necessary so that among this living beings, plants, animals, among this, it is necessary to maintain a balance. It is absolutely necessary that balance should be maintained among all these things that is found on the Earth. So first of all, let us see solar energy. What is the solar energy? We know that Earth is supporting life firstly because of the solar energy or solar insulation that is absorbed by the surface of the Earth. First of all, let us see about solar energy. Solar energy is much important for the Earth because this is another factor that is supporting life on Earth. Solar energy. Solar energy, and we know that the Earth is absorbing the solar energy, so it is known as the energy that is absorbed by the Earth is known as insulation, and a part is absorbed by and it is remaining, it is reflected back to the atmosphere. And the solar energy is essential for all the living beings. Without solar energy, life is not possible on the surface of the Earth. And the process by which solar energy is transformed into molecules, it is known as photochemicals. And one more term that is used here is photosynthesis. I think it is familiar to you, photosynthesis. The process by which the plants are absorbing oxygen and plants are absorbing carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. This process is known as photosynthesis. Next, nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle. So what I am telling is that on the Earth, the biosphere is found, life is possible on the Earth, but on the Earth, all these living beings are there. Among all this, there should be a balance. A balance should be maintained among all this. First of all, we have solar energy to support life. Solar energy is essential for supporting life. Next one, nitrogen cycle. So, Earth atmosphere. In the composition of air, you have seen that nitrogen is abundant gas that is found in the atmosphere. It is of 78% is having nitrogen. On the Earth's surface, air combination 78% is of nitrogen, and nitrogen also is important for the growth of the plants and crop production. All this nitrogen is important, and there should there should be a balance of this. So it is used by the plants for the growth of the plants. It is important, and soil also absorbs this nitrogen. But this nitrogen is balanced. Nitrogen is released in the atmosphere by the decomposition of dead animals. Dead animals decomposition takes place, then nitrogen is released in the atmosphere. So the nitrogen cycle is balanced in the atmosphere. Again, we have heat cycle. So heat cycle, we know that I said already about solar radiation, solar energy, and Heat is one of the prime requisites of life, and this is supplied by the solar radiation. On the earth, we know that solar radiation is there, which is very important for all the living beings. And this solar energy that is absorbed by the surface of the earth, which is known as insolation. This insolation you are studying in another chapter. This chapter here I am not explaining much about insolation. There is a diagram in your book given, like heat cycle, how it is through the process of conduction, convection, radiation. All these processes are given here in a diagram. That means the solar energy that is coming to the surface of the earth is not fully remaining on the surface. One part only reaching on the surface of the earth, remaining it is reflected back, and while traveling to the earth it is lost in the atmosphere, absorbed by the clouds. This one, there is another chapter for that. I will be explaining about conduction, convection, radiation. All this is coming in another chapter. But only here we are studying heat energy, or heat cycle is important, or solar energy is important for supporting life. Next, oxygen cycle. Oxygen cycle. Oxygen cycle. Let us see that the oxygen is only oxygen is very important gas. It is this nitrogen 78% is found, and oxygen 21%. 21% in the air combination. 21% of the air is of oxygen. Oxygen is an important gas for supporting life, because we know that man and animals, we inhale oxygen and exhales carbon dioxide. What we exhale is absorbed by the plants. Plants absorb carbon dioxide and give out oxygen, which man and animals inhales. Because of that, there is for oxygen cycle, there is a balance. And here we study how this cycle completes and how a balance is maintained between this. So here oxygen, man absorb this and give out oxygen. What we give out or exhale is absorbed by the plants, and they give out oxygen. After that, water cycle. Next one is water cycle. You are familiar with water cycle because in smaller classes like 4 or 5 classes, you are making the diagram of this water cycle. I have seen. So this water cycle also, or water is an important, we studied that water is an essential component for life or supporting life. And this water cycle, how it is, this cycle is completed is that evaporation is starting from the water bodies, from oceans and seas. We study about this like solar energy, nitrogen, oxygen, all this, how this balance is maintained. So the last one is water cycle. This I am explaining now. In this evaporation is starting from the water bodies, and this clouds are formed through condensation and through precipitation. Again this coming back to the surface of the earth. So this water cycle is completed like evaporation, condensation and precipitation. Evaporation from water bodies, through condensation clouds are formed, and again by precipitation. Rain is a form of precipitation. There are different forms of precipitation like rain, hail, snowfall, all these are there. So through this precipitation, this evaporated water from the surface of the earth is again back to the surface of the earth, and this water cycle completes. Again this through the rivers and streams, again it is joining to the oceans and seas, and this water cycle is complete. Next, condition that is favorable to life on the earth. It is we know that this all I said, the position of the earth is in the third position like Mercury, Venus, then earth, because the position of the earth is in the apt position to support life. And we know that the atmosphere that is found on the earth is essential to support life. Some other planets also atmosphere is found, but it is neither too this thick or thin. It is not capable of supporting the life. So which are the conditions that is found on the earth? Condition that is favorable. Conditions favorable to life. Conditions that support life. support life on earth. Firstly, the position of the, as I told you, position of the earth is in the apt position, neither too hot nor too cold. That is the first reason, that is the first condition. After that, the presence of water bodies on the surface of the earth, abundance water bodies are found in this planet, which is not found in any other planets, and presence of air and presence of land and favorable climate. All these conditions makes the earth a favorable place for supporting life. That is the conclusion of this chapter. Conditions favorable to life on the earth. That is the conclusion of this. There are so many that we have already said. Position of the earth, presence of biosphere, that is the presence of air, water, land, this zone that support life, which is known as biosphere. And temperature is also favorable, and presence of water bodies. There are so many conditions that is support life on the earth. This is the conclusion of this chapter. So we have completed this chapter, and in this part we have seen earth as a home of humankind and conditions that exist here. Distribution of land and water. Then we have seen that how the water bodies and land areas are distributed. Then earth, the only planet with life on it, and biosphere. Earth is the only planet to have biosphere. And next, solar energy, nitrogen cycle, and heat cycle, oxygen cycle, and lastly water cycle. And the conclusion of the chapter is conditions that is favorable to support life on the earth. There are so many conditions that support life on this earth. So this chapter, it is as I told you, it is a recapitulation of what we have studied in the previous classes. So here in the my last class, first chapter I started in the 2 days back. So in that I have given you some diagrams. I hope that you have completed that diagram works. After that, I have given 1 to 5 answers also. You can complete the remaining answers like exercise A 6 to 10, exercise B, C, D. And diagram what is given in the book. If I have not given exercise E, this also you will have to complete. So read the book well, complete the diagrams, go through the book and find the answers. You can write in short form, answers in short, not in very wide answer. Please don't write a detailed answer like important points, write, make, maintain your copy. So read the book well, study well. So thank you for watching this class. We will see you in the next class. Thank you.